off top, that game was awesome. Play music.
This is the Domonique Foxworth Show.
Welcome to the Domonique Foxworth Show. We're up late because we just watched the weirdest, kind of cool, like, I kind of want to call it game of the year, but it wasn't the most well-played game at all times. It just was ridiculous. The Seahawks won.
I loved it.
They beat the Rams to like put themselves in position to get the number one seed, which I think we talk about later in the podcast. It's really important in the AFC. Seems really important all the time, of course, but in the NFC also. But you want to just go through all the ridiculous things that happened in that game?
Yeah. Which one do you want to start with?
I mean, I think we have to go with the most ridiculous. It was the fumble. Yeah, the 2-point conversion. So the Seahawks converted on 3 separate 2-point conversions, but there was one that they needed to have that they threw what looked like a screen, a wide receiver screen, but it was actually backwards pass. It got deflected by a D lineman. Who was it? It wasn't Young, was it?
It was Verse.
It was Verse. It got deflected by Jared Verse of the Rams, and it bounced into the end zone, and everyone thought it was an incomplete pass. One of the safeties tried to catch it. He couldn't catch it. Incomplete pass. Charbonnet, the person who was supposed to catch the screen, just walks in and casually picks up the pass, and then like a minute or two later, before the kickoff, the refs come back and say it was a fumble, and Charbonnet recovered it for a touchdown, and that was the one that tied the game, right?
That's what tied the game.
Yeah.
And that
was the second 2-point conversion that they converted, which doesn't include the 2-point conversion that they converted in overtime to give them the win.
Let's be very clear about this also. People online have played back the video. The refs blew the play dead.
Oh, they did?
Yes.
I didn't see that.
And so all the Rams stopped after Cam Curl tried to intercept the pass that Jared Verse, I guess it was a backward pass, lateral, that went off Jared Verse's left hand and almost his helmet, that then careened forward. So Cam Curl almost intercepts it. It goes through his hands off the turf. The refs blow it dead, and then Charbonnet picks it up. There's like legit. I don't know how you rule that, because they said because Charbonnet did not stop and it was a clear recovery, that's technically the letter of the law. But that also seems wrong. I mean, I don't know. I'm not like this is where my lack of internet involvement gets me in trouble. But like the people, Al was explaining. Let's be real about this. Like, I don't want Al explaining my football to me. Like, did you hear him? Okay, we should go through all the stuff that happened in this game before we do. Like, Rashid Shaheed flips the game on a punt return, and Al Michaels like, and there's Rashid Shaheed, and he scores. It's like, what are we doing, buddy? This game is insane.
So, I mean, in Al's defense, when you called some of the things that he called, like a Thursday night on Amazon, and the regular season, like they gonna get Al popping, like it's a Olympic hockey match. Like, I mean, he sees some things.
I understand that, and I don't. We won't talk about.
We don't have to go any further. You made your point. I made my point.
There were a lot of moments, but anyway, yes, I think that was a huge part of why that got was so poorly explained on the broadcast at the ref, because I was wondering if the whistle got blown, and then I had to go to Twitter and people were playing it back. Like, you can clearly hear the whistle.
In the broadcast, I assume you had the broadcast volume on. You heard Al was saying like they so lucky they didn't blow the whistle. Like, I thought the whistle wasn't blown. This is news to me.
Yeah, but we should go through all of this because so this game starts. Initially, the Rams cannot convert in the red zone.
Yeah. But they're can't be stopped either. Like,
they're dominating the game.
They were going for it on 4th down. They're being aggressive, and they seem to be able to run the ball at will. And Matt Stafford was a very effective quarterback, especially when the run game is active. But they get in the red zone, and they peter out a bunch of times, which allows the Seahawks to stay around.
And the craziest part about this is it felt, if you watch the first half of this game, and really until the game flipped on the 2 Shaheed plays, you thought the Rams were the clearly better team. Yeah. Or I did too, because it at that point they're up 30-14. Sam Darnold's turned the ball over 3 times with 2 interceptions and 1 fumble. It's like the house of all in the Rams territory. It's like the house of horrors for Sam Darnold all over again. And from that point forward, from the Shaheed punt return on, where the Rams had 3 consecutive 3-and-outs, Darnold, he had his touchdown throw to was it Barner? I can't remember. They hit so many tight ends. So it was the rollout throwback pass to the tight end where he almost overthrew him in the end zone.
Yeah.
And from that point on, it was just like everything flipped. It felt like the Seahawks defense had the Rams number. It felt like until overtime, it felt like the Seahawks offense couldn't be stopped. They were the better team running the football. They were able to get all of their tight ends involved, which is like, that's the Rams bag, like, which is crazy. And it felt like two distinct games. And I left it sort of how I left the original Rams-Seahawks game, which was, I thought for 3 quarters, the Rams were the considerably better team. And then at the end of it, I left being like, I don't know. Like when the Seahawks pressed the turbo button, they seemed ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, they had the special teams advantage with a young Harbaugh, Jay Harbaugh, like the punt return. There's some great kickoff coverage, which I think will get forgotten. Mm-hmm. We had the missed field goal, which we didn't even bring up. This game wouldn't even happen if Nevis
it was dead center and then slowly drifted. Another Al moment.
Yeah,
that one's good.
Like, no, he wanted to say he was automatic. He's like, Nevis has been and he missed it. But yeah, that was another thing. Stafford threw a no-look touchdown pass in the red zone was another thing that happened. But yeah, I think the special teams
was a god to I mean, like, I'll tell you one thing. That dude can play football. Yeah. He might have been concussed. We need to acknowledge that. Yeah. His head bounced off the turf twice. He got popped right in front of the goal line. But he is unbelievable. 12 catches, 225 yards. Like, unbelievable performance.
Yeah. That it was impressive performance for Puka in that game. I think this kind of feels a little bit like this is such a pivotal game because of the 1 seed shifting. Like I feel less confident in the Rams, obviously, and of course Matt Stafford can function. It felt to me as I was watching this game, and of course Matt Stafford is a better quarterback than Sam Darnold. But Matt Stafford also felt like through the course of much of this game, he got so much more help from like the play design. The receivers were much more open for one side. The rushing attack, of course, allows him to be in favorable position. They're more aggressive, and their defense was setting them up in a way. It felt like I was ready to make excuses for my man Sam Darnold, but he don't even need them. But yeah, in the second interception, I was like, all right, I can't defend him. The second one, I was unable to defend him going forward after that one, but Rashid Shaheed returned a touchdown. It's not as if that final drive, not just the final drive, he threw some balls. Like, I wonder if this feels like there were some tough passes that he converted with pressure on him. Like, he wasn't getting protected. He was getting hit a bunch. It was a tough situation for him, but it came through in the end. And I guess I wonder, that's probably the big question coming out of this is, I don't know, do we feel different about Sam Darnold as a big game quarterback?
I don't know, man. Yeah. I really don't. Like, I'm not trying to pour water on it. He still had 3 turnovers. The final throw of the game in that 2-point conversion, he did not need to throw it that way. He could have lofted a tiny bit. It was they showed on the broadcast. It was inches away from hitting Kobe Turner and his off. I think it was Gray Zabel again because he like threw it hard. And I'm not like it's hard. I'm not criticizing that. Like he was an easy throw and he got it to the tight end to their third tight end. Who converted it, but like, I don't know what to buy into this stuff because like, this was not a clean game from Darnold. The two interceptions were like a huge part of the storyline, and like that's part of what dug the hole. But do you feel differently about Darnold? And the second part about this is, do you have any sense of which one of these teams is better?
Yeah. Well, Kobe Turner was awesome. I had forgotten about how many times we're gonna hear about this man playing piano. Like every broadcast is Kobe Turner playing piano, and he balled out in this game.
He was incredible.
Yeah, but yeah,
interception, sack and a half or something.
Just watching him throw that guard around,
who's been great as a rookie.
Yeah,
Zabel's been phenomenal.
Not really. Do I feel differently about Sam Darnold? Not particularly, but I think the defense that I was going to mount for Sam Darnold, I think still stands though. Like he's not Josh Allen, and they don't give him support.
No,
right? I know. So I feel like sometimes the expectations for these quarterbacks is like, because we came into this season wondering if Sam Darnold could be a big game quarterback, and he played bad in that Rams game. I think that any game that they lose and they don't play well offensively, it's going to fall on Sam Darnold. But watching what the Rams were doing and watching what the Seahawks was doing, it seemed pretty clear to me that they're asking for too much out of Sam Darnold. So, like, I has my opinion changed about Sam Darnold? Not really. But I think the one thing that's changed is, like, scheme something up for him. Like, we got to give him some easy. And they did. Like,
they protected him a lot after the second interception.
After the second interception, they started throwing screens. They ran that tight end leak. Like, they schemed up some plays, some big plays for him that helped him. And also, like, run the ball for him. Protect him. You can't have him under pressure. Like, he's a starting quarterback, but he's not a superstar. And in some of these situations, I think the last game is different. But in this game, it felt like at times they were asking him to be a superstar, and that just is going to end poorly. So, no, my opinion hasn't changed, but I think I put less blame on him than I do.
Beyond your opinion, what will this change if your opinion hasn't changed? What will this change for him, like mentally? Yeah. Because, like, I think you could see it, like, even like his body, like, not to like be gauging facial expressions, but you saw him having like the like really dour look when he after the third turnover on the sideline, and that looked like someone being like, oh here we go again. And after that game, like, this has to be an immense relief to do it against the Rams.
Yeah, and the Shaheed return, after the Shaheed return, he was really good. Like,
it was amazing after that. Yeah,
so I think that does a lot for his confidence going forward. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to rain on the win that they got, but I still think the Rams are better. But honestly, it may not matter who's better if they hold on to the division and hold on to the top of the NFC, get home field advantage. They're in good shape. But if you're asking me to put my money on one of these teams if they played again, I still feel like the Rams are just better. They can run the ball. That's all it comes down to, and they seem to be able to move the ball against the Seahawks for much of the game until the fourth quarter when they stopped running the ball, and then they couldn't when they tried to go back to it. Like, it was inexplicable. That drive after the Shaheed punt return, they decided they wanted to throw their way out of it, which, like,
the Seahawks had more rushing yards than the Rams in this game.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the
long run from
long run, and the Seahawks ran the ball well late in the game, but, like, when we were having all the Darnold problems, like, he was in third and longs. Continuously in third and longs, and you weren't seeing that for Matt Stafford and the other offense. They were not in third and longs, and then they had a number of, like, schemed up double move plays. Like, they had that curl flat double move to Puka that he missed. Mm-hmm. They had that out and up double move to the tight end that he nailed. They had that rail route to the tight end that he nailed. It just felt like time and time again, although Matt Stafford is better, also the offense was better designed for him. And then, of course, they're always in 3rd and 3. 3rd and 4, and because they can run the ball, and then they were booting them out all the time. It felt like they were asking less of the better quarterback. So,
do you think if the Rams had stayed committed to run, do you think that was an actual tactical error from McVay? Because the Rams are the first team in NFL history with 500 plus yards, 0 turnovers, and 3 opponent turnovers to lose a game.
That's impossible. I assume so. I guess. I hate
we're
the hindsight.
We're glazing McVay also, so we can give him a little bit of of being like, did he play his hand wrong at that point?
If I remember correctly, like, there was they had Parkinson open and he dropped a pass
twice, 2 drops.
Yeah, the second one was later. Yeah, but, like, on that drive where they decided not to run the ball after the punt return, I think Parkinson was open on a corner route and he dropped a pass.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know. If you have a team that is really good at running the ball, that's the time. And downhill running, like, they do a really good job of making a lot of their runs look the same, but having the, like, hit point, like, where they want the ball to enter the line of scrimmage be different, and it allows their linemen to get better leverage. But if you're a good running team, you need to be able to run the game to put it away. But I also, like, I don't mind putting the ball in the hand of my quarterback. Like, I like being aggressive. And
do you think for the turnaround, like, I mean, so much has been made of JSN and Darnold, but, like, when you think back to this game, how do you think it was all those 2 Shaheed plays? Because when they picked him up at the deadline, people, I think, thought that he was going to roll like this in the offense, and it took a little while where he was just essentially just a return guy and a gadget guy. And, like, it's crazy I'm saying this because the 2 plays were a return and a gadget play, the end around, but, like, it's still like he feels like an integral part of their offense that was added because of the speed element.
I think when we time travel, you said that this was the year of the NFL trade. And you didn't even mention the Shaheed trade, and it came up big. Like you saw the future because that particular trade could change who the Super Bowl champion is. Because I have no question, or not, I feel really confident if the Rams had home field and the number 1 seed, they would at least be in the Super Bowl. Right now, it feels like they don't have that, and 3 wins in a row, as we talk about with everybody this year, is a lot to ask. So
when you watch tape when you were playing, did coaches always yell to pick up the ball like Charbonnet did?
Yeah, they would just be like hand the ball to the ref. Like if the ball's near, you pick it up. But we didn't have review when I played. Damn, I'm old. It's weird when you get to that point where you like say things that are like a part of everyday life were not around for you. Like saying that they didn't have review when I played feels like saying that I had a rotary phone. Right? Like they didn't have review when I played.
But they had challenges, right?
No
challenges at all?
We didn't have challenges.
What? So you just ate bad calls?
Are you serious? You didn't realize there was a time before this where people just had bad calls? And
did they have the forward pass?
We didn't have as many cameras either. So like,
did you have leather helmets?
Of course, always. The only way to do it. Leather helmets, no face mask, baby. All my teeth are fake. Yeah, I think we're at the end now.
This is the oldest you've ever seen.
It just made me feel old when I said.
When did they add review? Like they didn't have challenges at all? Not one challenge?
I don't know. Maybe they did. Maybe I just don't remember, which makes me even older. I'll Google it.
How sick was it being a cornerback before the forward pass? You just chilled out there?
That sounds really hard to get paid.
Challenges started in 1999.
They had challenges? I don't remember one challenge in my entire career. It does say 1999. Where was I? Maybe I never played in NFL. Maybe I need to go to sleep.
Hold on 1 second. You know what I have a trivia. Do you know when the NFL added 2-point conversions?
I do. I don't remember the exact date, but I played with 2-point conversions. I remember that.
Yeah, it was 1994. Can you that's insane to me. There weren't 2-point conversions before 1994.
It was insane to me that you added them. Like I remember when they added them and I was like, what's this college like, put 2-point conversions in my NFL. It felt like a very college thing.
Ere you there when they like invented zone blocking?
Here we go. No, I wasn't. That was before me. Are you being serious or are you making fun of me?
No, it's dead serious. Like I was thinking, what are the innovations that happened in your time?
That was before me. That was Terrell Davis. That was before me. Right?
before me.
Yeah, I was making sure. I mean, the same people were there when I got there, though.
Yeah, it's revolutionary. That was. I'm just like I'm trying to think like we should do this at some point. The innovations that actually happened during your NFL career.
Well, the concussion stuff I remember that clearly. That was in like 08 or 09. Yeah. No, 08, right? Yeah.
Play action was that invented when you were in the league?
You're trying to upset me. You're not going to because I enjoyed a good football game. And I'm going to go to sleep. I got to wake up and take the kids to school. And then we got winter break, baby. So much fun. All right, bud. I think we ran out of gas. Let's go on to the rest of the game prep. And we got Joel Anderson later. Stick around. It is a really long and great show. All right. We don't have Mina this week, but we still got football. I know you reached out to her. Is she going to get penalized at the end of this show?
No. She's setting the pick.
Oh, okay.
She picked the Browns to beat the Bills.
That doesn't sound real.
Just kidding.
You're going to upset her. You know how competitive she is. We don't want to piss off Mina.
I know. She's a warrior. So we're time traveling. You've heard us just talk about Thursday Night Football, but there's a lot of good football starting all weekend. Like we'll talk about the college football playoff later.
Oh,
with Joel Anderson.
Yes.
We also have NFL games on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. We're so back.
We are. I like this time of season because it's very hard to like watch a bunch of relevant games at the same time. They spread them out.
It's so much better.
They spread them out, and I can lock in and catch up on the games that I miss later, but lock in on the games that are most important. And I think which one that you think is most important?
Well, I mean, like there's a really important game tonight that.
Yeah, I mean, we already talked about that one because we time travel. Remember, you told him we time travel.
I mean, my opinion, it's Jaguars-Broncos.
Yeah, I'm with you. I like Jags-Broncos in large part because time for Trevor Lawrence to get a real test. And I don't mean this as a shot at Trevor Lawrence. He's been awesome. This run has been incredible. The 6 touchdowns last week, 5 through the air, 1 on the ground. It was outstanding stuff that feels like it could happen against any team and against any defense. But it feels like part of the story of this season has been nobody's played anybody because nobody is anybody. And they have reeled off a bunch of games against some teams that we don't expect to be contenders in the playoffs. I go all the way back to the Texans game. Like, they struggled offensively in that Texans game, and Trevor Lawrence has always kind of been fluctuating and a more dynamic style of quarterback play, but he's been consistently awesome right now, and he has a real test against what looked like the best team in football last week. If you combine that Broncos defense with the way that Bo Nix and that offense played last week, it's going to be a real test for Trevor Lawrence. We'll see if he and Liam Cohen have really righted the ship.
Yeah, I mean, is that the matchup you think is most interesting, the Jags offense against the Broncos defense? Because, like, I don't really have questions about the Broncos defense, regardless of if they're the 1 seed, the 2 seed, whatever. Like, their rush and coverage seems more complementary than any other defense in the NFL. And this is, I mean, I don't know. I don't fall into the same camp of like Trevor was just doing it against the Jets, blah, blah, blah. Like, he said 3 weeks. We've seen the tape. We've seen the throws he's made where it's like the throws are more impressive than the stats with him. That's the crazy thing about it. And sure, he's been up and down, but since the Jacoby Myers trade, I think it's crazy that
MVP.
Well, no, it's not that. It's just that like this has been the year of the NFL trade more so than any of them. Like since the Micah stuff, the Quinnen Williams, the Sauce, etc. And I think it would be crazy that we thought that during the stretch run, the trade that has the most significant implications on the playoff picture is actually the Jacoby Myers trade. Just having like an adult who can play on time and has the ability to separate on in-breaking routes. And Trevor Lawrence is first in the NFL in EPA per dropback with Jacoby Myers on the field.
It's not only willing or able to separate, it's also like a willing catcher in that space, which is not easy to find, even though they've made the rules a little easier for receivers over the middle. It seems that just because you're big, just because you're strong, doesn't mean that you're going to be comfortable there. I had a thought while you were going there. It's like, the NFL leave anything for the NBA? Like, if we're going to become the trade league too, like we took Christmas, like there's nothing left for basketball. They got the in-season tournament. We don't have one of those. You got that basketball.
Don't worry, we won't become a league where guys don't try during the regular season.
Yeah, we can't because sadly, they'll get fired.
Or just very much injured.
Very much injured. Yeah, I think that matchup is the question, but obviously, the Broncos have a long track record across multiple seasons now, and this season of great defense. They did not completely shut down the Packers, which is a high-level offense, and so
there's a high-level football game,
right? I don't expect them, and I don't mean this as an indictment or judgment of them. Like, people are going to be able to move the ball against you in the playoffs on occasion, and that's why we always fall back on there's going to be a game or two where Bo Nix is going to have to step up. He showed that he could do it last week. I think also it's going to be a question, and you're right. I don't want to discount Trevor Lawrence's play because of the opponent. I do want to see it against a higher level of opponent. So, I know those throws are complete against everyone. Are those throws complete against the pass rush that you're getting? Like, that 1/10 of a second or 5/10 of a second difference in the pass rush getting there is going to change the way things happen. And that yard to less than a yard of Surtain and Riley Moss and separation being there is going to matter with how comfortable you are and how confident you are.
Did you see Riley Moss's Instagram caption?
Give it to me.
Lactose intolerant.
I immediately saw it and liked it and got it, but then I started going through my head. It's like, are you saying they're lactose intolerant?
Yeah.
Because you're milk?
That's exactly what
okay, got you. Yeah. I mean, because when you get
quarterbacks, the quarterbacks throwing on him are lactose intolerant.
When you get DBs, it's normally like this area is like no fly zone. So then I was like, this area is lactose intolerant. I overthought it. Yeah. I immediately got it and then was like, I like this, and then I talked my way out of it. He is a guy making public proclamations that we can stand behind. Not true of all guys in the NFL right now.
No, certainly not. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think this game's really interesting. I think that the Broncos run game is okay, but it's
Yeah.
not, they aren't like hammering the middle of the field. And I don't know. I have just as many questions about the leap that Bo Nix is taking now because I don't think he's good, but I just want to, there's legitimate stakes for both these teams. Like the Broncos want to wrap up the number 1 seed. And I know like that might be more important this year than it is any other year. Like that's something I know you believe. And the Jaguars are fighting for the AFC South. I mean, there's a world where they win this game and the Ravens beat the Patriots on Sunday night and the Jaguars can try and sneak a number 1 seed also. Like, I don't think that's going to happen, but there's like legitimate stakes. And we saw that with the Broncos last week. Like them playing playoff football was like, I mean, it was a sight to behold.
Yeah, so there's 2 things that come to mind. One is a more micro thing in the course of this game is the Broncos have been incredible against play action this year on defense. And I think like Liam Cohen's system and Trevor Lawrence are very comfortable in the play action, whether it's booting, getting him out of the pocket, or it's play action in order to attract the underneath defenders and then attack the middle field. And then I think some of the other variations break off of that. So I think that's probably going to be that, and red zone efficiency will be the story of the game. Like the Jags have been very good in the red zone, and the Broncos have not over the course of the entire season. And I think that it's hard to make like real statements about the difference in the red zone, but I think that's one of the places when the windows get smaller and the opportunity is thinner, that your ability as a quarterback, like your physical ability as a quarterback, to throw a ball really hard, throw a ball in the right spot, knowing the right spot to throw the ball, and also like your running ability, I think changes your prospects in that red zone area. And then coaching also, like those things, it's hard to pinpoint one of those things, but I often feel like that decides so much of the games, especially with the changing in the kickoff rules where field position is a little bit better. Who gets 7s and who gets 3s, I think is going to be one of the stories of the game, assuming that the Jags are going to have some success in the play action pass against this Broncos defense, which I think they will.
Is that what you see? Let's go through it each way. If the Broncos win the game, like what's it look like versus the Jags?
Yeah, I think the Broncos, I could imagine it a couple different ways. Is they could have a game like they had last week. And it's possible, I guess it's not likely, but it's possible that Bo Nix could show up and have another like awesome high-level playoff style game. Like I can see that happening. I don't think that's the highest probability. But I think what actually is more likely is they destroy this Jags offense. It's like this defense is their pass rush, their commitment to stopping the run and challenge Trevor Lawrence to be awesome continuously. Because it's not that he can't. I mean, before this, the reason why he got the long contract extension and the reason why he's so exciting a player is like he has shown in the past that he can be great. He just hasn't shown that he can be great for extended periods of time. And so that would be my guess. That would be one way, or those 2 ways that this game could go if the Broncos win it. The Jags, I think it's Bo Nix goes into he has one of those inaccurate games.
Yeah.
And that slows the offense.
Turnovers for the Jags defense. And then.
Yep. And the Jags defense is good, but it's not great. Like when they had turnovers early in the season, they were great. And then offensively, I think they have success in the red zone. They'll be able to get to the red zone, would be my guess. Like the play action pass and Trevor Lawrence athleticism through the course of the game, if you get 10 drives, they're going to get it down there a couple times. I don't see with like the modern rules that they're going to like just completely blank them.
Get to midfield.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be whether they can continue those drives or if they can get to the red zone and score and finish those drives off with 6, not 3.
All right, so like let's just stick in the AFC for a second here. For one of the other ones, the ones that we were talking about, which is the Ravens and the Patriots. That's the Sunday night game. And I was a little bit shocked that the Ravens, they are at home, but they're 3-point favorites. And if you had done a snapshot of that at halftime of the Patriots game against the Bills when they were up, I guess it was 24-7, but even when they were up 21-0 in that game, you thought this was going to be the best, the best team in the AFC and certainly the most consistent team in the AFC. Why do you think that line is so off? Or do you think it is even off? Does that seem right to you?
I think I was surprised by it because, like, obviously we're here in DC. We have the helmets on the table. Like, we are very aware of these particular teams. And, I mean, I guess it doesn't even matter that we're close to them. The Ravens are a very public team because of Lamar Jackson, and everyone has been paying attention. And we all know that the Ravens haven't been good this year. I think we all attribute a lot of it to Lamar's health. And I think you also will get some like criticism of their interior line play on offense. That's part of the problem. But last week you saw their defense shut down the Bengals. And so I would feel a little bit better about them. But then you watch the Bengals tape and you're like, the defense played good, but the Bengals really were awful. So like I have a hard time combining that with the run that the Patriots have had and think that the Ravens should be favored in this game. However, when you like look at the actual matchups, like there are so many flaws in what the Patriots have. They've been successful, but there are flaws in it. It doesn't feel like any team is particularly dominant. And when you have a player with the ceiling that Lamar Jackson has, like I'm still surprised. I would expect the Patriots to be the favorite, but I think it makes a little more sense when I think through it because even though the Pats are like competing for the 1 seed and have had an incredible run despite the second half of that last game. The cracks that you saw in the second half of that last game are things that have been there the whole time. The defense is not dominant. They can't stop the run at the level that they need to. And that offensive line has holes in it. Opposite, as long as Keyshawn Boutte has made some big plays, but you saw in that game, they would roll the safety to Diggs and they would challenge Boutte to win in one-on-one coverage. And May wasn't able to do it. They kept him out of like third and manageable situations. And Drake May and the Patriots have been good in those third and long situations most of the season, but he wasn't right there. And so
do you think you'll learn more about the Patriots this week than last week in a way?
Yeah. I think it's a fair question. I don't know. The feeling around the Patriots would change a lot if they lose to this version of the Ravens team. And I don't even know if it matters how they lose. We were starting to convince ourselves that the Patriots were up there and going to be a favorite. And I think what it came down to, you mentioned it with the first game, is the number 1 overall seed is more important to me in the AFC this year than it's been in recent memory. Because I think now that, and maybe I'm showing how old I am, but there used to be 2 teams that had a bye.
I still think that every year.
Yeah. Okay, good. Now we're just both old.
Yeah.
But now, now that one team has a bye, it's just like it's so much more help because you're tempting the football gods a lot less. And as football is so fickle and you're exposing yourself to fewer injuries, you're home for those 2 games. I think a better team could definitely go on the road and win some games or win 3 games in a row, but there are no teams in AFC that seem decidedly better than anyone else.
Right.
So like I think this matters huge for them, for the Patriots, because if they beat the Ravens and they're able to find, and Jacksonville beats the Broncos, if they're able to find their way by the end of the season into the number 1 seed, I would consider them a legitimate, even though they lost at home to the Bills.
Yeah, I mean, if they played them at home for a third time, a rubber match, like
I mean,
they were up by 21 points in that game at one point.
That's how I feel about this season. Is when I look at all the teams, if I'm looking for what team I would want to like ride, it's the team that I have to trust fewer times, honestly, than anyone else. And then after that, it's Josh Allen.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think Josh Allen's the most trustworthy unit in the playoffs.
He's a whole unit?
He's a whole unit. He's the Bills' offense. And like everything.
Don't do that.
No, I mean, they have a great offensive line. They have James Cook. They have the tight ends. They have Khalil. But like, I think it all runs off of him. Like it's all off of the tentacles of Josh Allen.
It's different because we often talk about how the running game is so influenced by the quarterback, but they do a lot of just straight under center handoff.
Yeah.
They push people. Like that's not zone read stuff that's using him as a blocker. And they're not doing a bunch of like naked boots. So like, I think that the idea that and we talk about this with a bunch of different quarterbacks, and we say this is what you want to give your young quarterback. You want to give him a break.
Yeah.
The idea that they have
the anti-Mahomes.
Yeah.
It's like the anti of what the Chiefs did.
It's
they
like,
actually are getting sorry, Hal. They're actually giving him a break.
My bad, Hal. It's like, look, we're just going to call a running play.
Yeah.
It might go for 10. It might go for 5. It might go for 3. Whatever. You don't got to trip. That doesn't happen with a lot of offenses, and that gives me more confidence. And they have a good pass defense, which we'll see how it breaks down in the playoffs.
And they're a serious organization. What I mean by like they got the James Cook thing done. They got him to practice. They had the season. And like because his contract situation, for those who don't remember, was like up in the air. He had the agent, which he's since fired, who people were making fun of online. James Cook also seems like the heir to Shady McCoy, is the guy who's like the best at running in the snow.
Yeah.
Like he you know what I mean? Like he looks awesome.
Those Shady highlights.
Yeah.
Where he was it seemed like everyone else was playing in snow, but he wasn't.
Snow game Shady was that was the best. I mean, when I mean this is Josh Allen's offense, like he's just like so focal to everything they do. I mean, in certain ways, by the way,
But you keep saying that, I understand what you're saying. I am certainly not looking to diminish Josh Allen, but I do not want to underappreciate how important and valuable it is that they have a straight ahead under center power rushing attack that they can fall back on, that it doesn't matter the scheme. Nothing matters. If we could pull Josh Allen out and that rushing attack will be just as effective.
I don't think so.
You think his ability?
Yes.
So
it would not be nothing in that offense is just as effective without Josh Allen, even
that's fair.
Being under center and handing the ball to James Cook.
You just think that, I mean, because I don't want it to sound
6'5", 240-pound water buffalo who can pull it, run around the edge, throw it 80 yards, truck your...
I guess I don't see how the impact... Because they don't do a ton of naked boots with him. He's not a bootleg quarterback, really. I don't think that... I guess it's
also just like... here's one.
I'm trying to make a point.
General fatigue of beating the out of a defense.
Yeah, okay. That's fair. I guess I was just trying to make a point that they are helping him in that way.
Absolutely.
And that's a nice thing where... Maybe the defense is aware of him, but it does not feel like pressure on him.
Since Joe Brady took over, the number one thing, he wants them to run the ball, give Josh Allen breaks, protect Josh Allen, like the decision making of that type of stuff. Of course, that's like I think fundamental to who they are.
Yeah, I think we're missing each other with this point. I think people who are watching probably understand that we're saying two different things. But
this all comes back to the fact that I think that Josh Allen is still the most trustworthy unit in the playoffs. It's Josh Allen is the number one trustworthy unit. Number two is the Texans defense. Number three is the Broncos defense. In my mind,
this is in the AFC.
In the AFC,
yeah.
And like things that I trust to perform in the playoffs. That's how I go with it. But for the Patriots part of this, okay. So here's what I think is at stake for the Patriots and the Ravens. If the Ravens run the out of the ball against the Patriots, who don't have Milton Williams, and like they're running the ball better last week with Derrick Henry, Lamar looked the most decisive. He's looked running the ball since week one, even though he took sacks.
He still don't look like Lamar, man.
And Keaton Mitchell and Rasheen Ali are like legitimate parts of the offense now. I think that with how open the AFC is, assuming the Steelers lose to the Lions, I'm not saying they should. They might beat the Lions. And just like there's a world where they get into the dance and you're like, oh, maybe they'll get healthy. Maybe they'll be able to overcome the guard play where we get really nervous. Like people are pointing this out online. It's not just us. Like no, it's Voorhees and Falele. And that's been a part of the failings of the interior running game and getting Derrick Henry going in certain games. Like, well, there's a world where if they beat this Patriots team, they make the playoffs, where we look at them and we're like, Lamar Jackson in the postseason, this is one of the best players we've ever seen. Like he's getting healthy at the right time.
Well, I think you had two separate thoughts there.
Yeah. And
you ran them together and it sounded like you were saying that Lamar is one of the best postseason quarterbacks.
No, one of the best players we've ever seen.
Right.
And now he's in the postseason.
Right. Yeah.
That's
a distinction. So like, I don't know. I think, of course, the enticing thing about the Ravens is that part of their problem is Lamar is not playing like he did in week one.
Mm-hmm.
If he against the Bills, if he is able to return to that formula, like we're not asking you to go back all the way back to last year. And we know it's been injuries and stuff, but like that, the perception is like the guard play matters less. Their receiver, the threats that they have at receiver matter less. How effective their rushing attack is matters less. How good their defense is matters less. It all matters a lot less if Lamar Jackson can get back to the way that he's played for the last couple seasons in the first game of this season. And that would give you some reason to believe, but I also just like think this team ain't good, man.
Can I pitch you something?
Pitch it to me.
They reach the playoffs. They'd have to beat the Patriots.
Okay.
The vaunted Patriots.
Vaunted.
So vaunted.
So much vaunt.
Then they'd have to win at the Packers.
Oh.
And then they'd have to win at the Steelers. Renegades playing, potentially Mike Tomlin's final game if he gets knocked out of the playoffs with that emotions. And that's coming off the 24-0 win over Cincy. So they go in with those four. Lamar getting healthier, maybe looking closer to week one. a little bit of your Ravens blood. You little like it's get a little tingly, being like, "This, I'm back in."
I make it clear every time that I am not a fan. I'm an unbiased member of the media. It's just because when I was in Baltimore, we didn't have the Ravens. They didn't come till I was in high school, and I was worried about playing football myself. A little tingle. Yeah, you get a little tingle. I mean, you start to break it down, and you're like, they still aren't that good. Unless maybe they just. The thing is, the scenario that you laid out is I'm imagining that they just won 5 games in a row, 2 of them against contender level teams like the Packers and the Patriots. And then won a tough game against the Steelers. Like, it feels like for that to happen, you're going to need to get some consistent play from Lamar, and the team will look different.
Tractor Cito season, it's cold.
Possibly. They still won't have a pass rush, which is problematic, I think, in the playoffs. But I guess some of these things would have to work out. Because I left last week's game not feeling a lot better about the Ravens, which is insane to have a 24-0 win over the Bengals and then watch the tape and be like, Ravens are still the same team that they were the last few weeks. The Bengals seem to not be interested in football right now, at least offensively. But Lamar put up some good numbers, but he also threw a pick and probably should have been picked before another time and got sacked in situations that he normally doesn't get sacked in when he's healthy. So, like, I don't feel great about this year's Ravens.
Yeah. I mean, they've had a really good run defense at parts of this year. And like that plus Lamar getting healthier is maybe a good formula. And like, here's a question on this. Like, we know Lamar has not been up to a standard in the postseason. Small sample size, blah, blah, blah. Mark Andrews sold for him, blah, blah, blah. It's not his fault. He had multiple turnovers in every single big game, blah, blah, blah. All that stuff that we write off. Like, we gotta have the excuses ready. But with that said, I'm not sure why I would trust him less than Bo Nix in the postseason, Drake May in the postseason, Trevor Lawrence in the postseason, even though like I'm in on all of those guys as long-term quarterbacks, just like, and like, but we also can swing the pendulum too far where like, well, I don't fall on the side of like Lamar's has been just as good in the postseason as he has in the regular season. I think that's untrue. I think like objectively we have eyes and we've tried to have excuses because we like him. But the second part to that is the rest of the quarterbacks are also unproven. Mahomes is out, Burrow's out. It's Josh Allen and Lamar are going to be the experienced guys in the postseason that everyone's going to be their pants to play. Straight up.
Yeah. We've spent a lot of time talking about a scenario that I think may not happen, but I agree with
you.
They
might lose this weekend and get knocked out. It's like distinctly possible.
I agree. And so I guess that's what I'm thinking is like, if all those things happen, no one's going to, I mean, it's the playoffs. They might be the team you least want to play. They're the hottest team right now. But given what's happened to this team all season long, so unlikely.
Yeah.
So unlikely that they're going to win all the games that they need and the Steelers will lose the games that they need them to lose.
Trust question. Based on how they looked last week, who do you trust more to play well this week, Lamar or Drake May? Because we were ready to put Drake May in like one of them ones, to quote Mina Kimes.
Yeah, it was just one half of being one of them twos.
It's true.
Drake May. Yeah. Like, I think given what's happened so far this season,
I love him. I think he's so good. The deep ball, the mobility, he's incredible.
Yeah.
With that said, am I wrong to be like, I would like to remember that you play football in the half of the biggest game of the year, and like I forgot that he was out there?
I love basketball.
Could have been Scott Tolzien.
I love basketball, and I'm happy basketball season is here. When football's over, I'll watch it. But you obviously been watching a lot of basketball because these are like basketball cliches to fall back on.
They had one first down in the second half against the Bills.
He was out there for 10 minutes in the fourth, and I didn't even know he was there.
Yeah.
I forgot he was on the floor. That's classic, like Bill Simmons,
Jeff Green
basketball analysis. Is like you're not having it impacted anyway. Like he's a damn quarterback. I didn't forget he was out there.
There was a protagonist in that game, and that protagonist was Josh Allen. And then
there was an antagonist on the other side.
The clock. The clock was the antagonist. Are we going to have enough time?
Yeah, and that's the point. Is like you said, I forgot he was out there.
Jack Bauer just against like tick.
I did forget he was out there. I watched him struggle. I didn't understand why he was struggling so much against a defense that I didn't think was particularly challenging. You didn't forget he made the big block He broke 21 miles an hour and got downfield and made
great athlete.
Well, I don't know what to call it, a block. He made the
he's like weirdly good at that, like the getting in the way, but somehow they like the defensive player doesn't like wreck him type of block.
He still falls. I need you to stay on your feet, just like.
But there's like I've seen I feel like there are some quarterbacks who do that and just like Baker Mayfield do that and get popped and then get back up and jaw at the guy. Whereas like Drake May somehow like is slippery enough down there to not get absolutely
May's
rocked.
Also huge.
Yeah.
And Baker is not.
That's a good point. It's fair pushback.
He had 2 blocks in that game, I think.
2, yeah. Both on like cutback runs. All right. Last big game. This one's a Saturday game, and this game I think should be awesome. It's the Green Bay Packers versus the future Indiana Bears.
That's so stupid.
This is a report that the Bears could theoretically move to Indiana. It's not going to happen. They're going to stay in Chicago. This is negotiating.
Can I say one thing about that?
Yeah.
I get the playbook. You don't have to follow like the playbook for when you want a new stadium is threaten to move. And the reason why you do that is like you're trying to create some leverage. You're trying to create an uproar amongst the fans for your municipality to get right. You got to read the room. Nobody, like this is a historic franchise. Nobody believes you're going to move them. Yeah, no one thinks you're going to move them to Indiana. And I assume that they're also like, there are league rules about different markets. I assume that the Colts would have a problem with you moving into the state of Indiana. I don't know, but it just seemed like for what you wanted it to do, you made yourselves look like you're a greedy team trying to bilk the government out of money, which is not maybe that's what you are, but that's not how you want to look. Anyway, the Indiana Bears are playing the Packers. Go ahead.
The Indiana Bears are playing the Packers, just 2 small town teams.
I mean, if they want to do that, then you should have to sell your team to the citizens, just like the Packers are owned by their population.
It's so funny, and no one takes it seriously.
Nobody. Everyone's just annoyed by it. Like, what are you doing? Stop playing this game.
It's so ridiculous. But so there's so many narratives in this. Like,
right.
The Packers obviously lost Parsons. It seems like there's a good chance Christian Watson's going to play after what we thought could have been a broken clavicle. Like we were talking about on Thursday night, like he's going to be out for the season because that was the initial reports. And then he went to the hospital, avoided major injury, and it looks like he can play. The Bears on the other side have been playing awesome. They can run the ball against pretty much anyone. Caleb is coming off like his best stretch as a pro where he's just starting to put it together, even though the accuracy issues are still there. Like through 1,000 career attempts, he has the fewest interceptions in NFL history, which is crazy. The question, and I'm going to start with the low hanging fruit here. Do you think that the Packers have any letdown after losing Parsons?
No, I don't. I think in the long run they do.
Yeah.
Honestly,
in the long run they have to. He led the NFL in pressures. He had 13 sacks in 14 games. Like he's awesome.
I think in this game you see they are going up against a team that does not play a style of offense that is conducive to Micah Parsons being as impactful as he wants to be.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, he's still Micah Parsons, and I remember the last time they played, he was chasing Caleb down and taking those tenths of a second away from him that I was talking about with the earlier game. However, they want to run the ball and boot out of it. Like, this is a boot team. This is the team that you tried to make me think was Josh Allen's team. This is the team where they're like, look, we're going to run the ball. I'm just joking.
No, dude, you're right, though. The play action stats are insane with Caleb.
Yeah, this is what they want to do. And so, like, that's awesome to neutralize the pass rusher. So I don't think if they get him in third and longs, like, maybe they'll have better chance of success now because it won't be a straight drop back. You can't move Micah all around or use him to – one of my favorite things that they do is they use Micah as a decoy to slide the protection to him. He drops out and they blitz on the other side. It's almost a guarantee that whatever side Micah's on is where they're going to put the strength of their protection. And so, like, it's a great tool to have. If he's not breaking the play, he's giving you an advantage of telling you where they are going to go because they're not crazy enough to leave him in a one-on-one. So, like, all that's gone. So the question will be, will Caleb be able to operate in a situation, or will their rushing attack not force Caleb into those situations? So I don't think that this is the game that they're going to miss Micah. And I also think coming off of when you lose a player in a game, it feels a little bit sad and it changes the game plan and you're a little down. But the week after, there's a lot of guys who are like, who hear how important that guy was. And there's normally like, look, we'll be fine without him. And there's some bounce back from that and you can game plan.
Yeah. I feel like it's like a crazy thing about the NFL with that, right? Like everyone's like, we're fine.
Yeah. And I mean, everybody's so good.
Yeah.
We talked about this before. It's like the differential between the players is so small. It looks big because the impact is large, but it's NFL players. Like it's not college where the backup might be a walk-on. Like,
yeah. Well,
these guys are good.
And it's like, it's not the quarterback, or to your point, it's not basketball.
Well, it kind of is on defense. Like he's almost as impactful as the quarterback, but I don't think you see a big letdown from there, as long as, of course, last time they played, it just was explosive play after explosive touchdown from the Packers against that Bears defense. My fear is that Jordan Love gets in a situation where he just feels like he has to keep pressing, and then he turns the ball over, because we know the core or the key to this Bears defense is creating turnovers. Otherwise, they aren't really a good defense without the turnover. So I suspect, even though the Packers won on the last play of the game last time when a guy was open and Caleb probably should have hit him, I think the Packers win again, even without Micah this week.
That's really interesting and huge for playoff season. So you're kind of still in on the Packers. Like the Micah might doom them long term, but like.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in on him because of the way that Jordan Love has been playing as of late. The offensive ceiling is so high.
The coaching's so good on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, and that's another one, is a name that people probably been hearing more as one of the future head coaching candidates, is Jeff Hafley.
In our league.
Yeah, in our league, yeah. He's a former Boston College guy who came over to lead the defense in Green Bay. And I never forget his name, because I remember like making jokes about when they brought him in. It was like, the defense at Boston College was bad.
Like bottom of NCAA.
Yeah, I was like, why'd you bring
FBS?
Yeah, and then he made me look stupid promptly having a good defense, when the Packers historically have always had like really talented defense, at least in recent history.
All first round picks.
Yeah, really talented defenses that underachieved. Then he came in there and was like, immediately good. Another year, even better. The only thing they were missing last year was the pass rush. They bring in Micah Parsons. Awesome defense. So he deserves the respect. I won't forget that. But this is a game for him.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot, the things that I was saying earlier about the ability to like be bailed out by Micah's pass rush, and also dictate to the offense what they can do by where you put Micah Parsons. Like, his job is going to get harder. And I mean, we already talked about Wyatt missing Wyatt. Like, it's not just Micah being missing. Like, this defense has other injuries that they just mount. And that's always one of like secret stories of the Super Bowl champ, is like, who's healthy and who's not.
Do you think this game, of any game throughout the entire season, is going to have the craziest throws?
Oh, yeah. Those two are awesome. I don't know. I mean, yeah, it might. Caleb will try him.
So Jordan Love.
I know. Yeah, I know. I was trying to think of who is more capable. There are other quarterbacks.
We had week one. We had Allen and Jackson in week one when they were both healthy. Like, you might see some crazy on the run throws even from Nixon Lawrence this week.
Yeah, that's fair. And the accuracy is not nearly as well. I guess the same thing is true of Caleb.
Yeah,
you're going to see a lot of crazy throws. Yeah, you didn't say they were crazy completions. You said crazy throws.
I just think that, like, yeah, I mean, after last week, the throw that Caleb made to DJ Moore, that like, did you hear him talking about that? He was like, the second I left my hand, I knew it was a touchdown. And Ben Johnson was like, I was on the sideline. He called it a no, this is another Simmonsism, but he called it a no yes throw. Yeah. And then he came to the sideline and he's like, I looked at the tape. He's like, I actually saw what he was doing, and I realized that only Caleb can make that throw. And I was like, liar.
Yeah.
Liar.
What was he doing? I don't know. I let's celebrate it because it was awesome. But if he knew that he could make
that throw was unbelievable.
It was absurd. It was so crazy that it felt lucky.
It felt like the modern version of the Joe Montana to Dwight Clark throw. Same spot in the end zone. Like,
but it was harder. It was deeper.
It was way harder.
It was way deeper and faster.
It was over three defenders. And then DJ Moore, he wasn't even in the screen. Like, we watched the reverse, like the end zone angle. You don't see DJ Moore for a long time in the end zone angle of the film.
Yeah. And so Caleb has this weird ability that he feels so calm and in control while doing things that don't make sense. Like, he's one of the few quarterbacks. I remember the last time they played the Packers, he's rolling out and he sees an open man and he checks back to see if someone else is open. And like, he does things where normally you don't see rolling out, and then he'll just throw the ball at the wrong spot. It's weird to be that cool and also that inaccurate, I guess.
I just like the more that this season comes
or inconsistent,
along,
I guess.
Like the more the season comes along, it's just like if he like he's already good, obviously, and like I know that the stats like show that the inaccuracy numbers are high. Like, he's not as supported by the advanced metrics as it looks like when you're watching him. But like, if the accuracy comes together with this, and like the athleticism is just the athleticism and arm strength, it's like,
yeah,
it's as unique in certain ways as like Lamar or Josh Allen's athleticism. It's different. It's its own thing.
Yeah, I mean, and I think if we had like a raw arm test, like just who can do crazy things with their arm, like he'd be up there.
Oh yeah, he might be the best thrower. I mean, I don't know. It's impossible to say. Like Mahomes.
Well, just like watching the tape is like
Allen.
I guess we could probably use the data to figure out like ball speed. It's just like some throws that he makes they look a little different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say, like, he's a couple of the interceptions he's had, like, he's obviously someone that can roll to his left. The couple of times he got pushed back rolling to his left, and those are the bad throws where it's weird when you watch the tape angle and you see the ball not come out clean out of his hand. So just
you want to go from his arm to Tua's arm and talk about that, or
yeah, we can talk about Tua's our guy, Tua. So he's benched.
Yeah.
It seems like the organization has chosen Mike McDaniel to presumably say. I mean, I guess Stephen Ross has talked about that. This seems like the end for Tua, but it's complicated because they'll have $99 million of dead cap if they cut him. I don't know what the trade market or if anything is. And I got a question. Do you see him being a starter anywhere else in the NFL? Like,
I mean, it's I don't know what the market would be. I also don't see him. Like, you asked, do I see him being a starter? Like, I'm not sure. I don't know. Like, I'm happy he got paid. I'm happy any player gets paid.
Yeah.
I want to be careful not to like denigrate him, but I would not want him to be my backup quarterback, let alone starter.
Why not your backup?
I mean, he got injury issues, man. Like, it's the concussion stuff combined with the busted hip in college, and then it's like the type of quarterbacks that are interesting second chance quarterbacks are ones that have like something that you can be like, all right, we'll build around that. And like, he's not particularly athletic. His arm strength obviously is an issue. I guess the accuracy and anticipation is something that you could build around, but then you combine that with the fact that he hasn't had very many good seasons and that the injury risk is like, so trading anything for him seems.
Oh, the Dolphins would have to eat part of his contract.
Right. Yeah. But even at that point, like, I'm not sure that that's where I would want to roll the dice if I'm trading. You only have so many roster spots. I don't know that I'm trading for a reclamation quarterback to be my starter or backup if it's Tua.
Besides the amount of children, what's the difference between him currently and 44-year-old Phillip Rivers currently?
Give my man Tua some time, man. He gonna have some free time this weekend. Might get a new one in 9 months. September, baby. Yeah, I mean, you found me.
This broke your brain.
I just was taking it seriously.
Just like, no, I'm serious. Like, skill set. What's the difference? Neither one of them can move. Yeah. Like, you're terrified when both of them get hit.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, it's just timing, anticipation, poor arm strength, making connections over the middle of the field.
I don't want either of them to be my starter. I'm rooting for both of them. I don't know the difference. One's taller.
One is taller.
There you go. That's the difference. One's taller and one looks more like a current quarterback than the other.
Which one?
Tua.
I honestly didn't know.
The other one looks like an OC.
Yeah, Josh Heupel.
Yeah.
But so here's an actual question about them. Tua was part of the long, proud lineage of quarterbacks who got paid like they were one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, despite the fact that we had massive questions about it, because that's what you do. You pay your franchise guy. Mm-hmm. Since then, we've seen an influx of the Darnold and Baker Mayfield style deals. Second draft guys who are getting significantly under that $60 million deal thing. When you see Tua, when you see what happened with like Kyler, it's where Trevor Lawrence was a couple weeks ago before his like game started to stabilize, when Mike Sando wrote about those three guys. as like contracts that are difficult. Do you think that Tua is going to be like sort of like remembered as sort of an inflection point when they stopped giving guys like him those contracts?
No. I mean, I get the argument, but I think it's every situation is going to be unique. So if there are quarterbacks available, so like the Vikings moved on from Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
Because they felt like they already had a quarterback on their roster. Like, I think if quarterbacks are available, that's fine. I think I understand why people would say that maybe we would move away from that. But your quarterback that you have, if he shows that he can be a franchise quarterback, or which all these quarterbacks that you're talking about, they showed enough that it was worth considering, given how hard it is. Like, I don't imagine that this dynamic is going to shift the leverage that much in those situations.
See, what I wonder is like Bryce Young.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to, like, is a team not going to look around and be like,
yeah, but I think Bryce Young is in a different spot than they are. Like, Tua had a season where he like led the league in passing yards, which I know yards isn't a great stat, but like if that offense was scoring 70 points, like
that was crazy. They scored 73 points.
Yeah, it felt different than the Bryce Young situation. The Bryce Young situation feels very different. I don't imagine that at the peak of just pay your guy, that given what Bryce Young has done so far, that they would give him a top of the league contract. I just think each situation matters, and the leverage isn't going to shift that much.
But I think back in, like, I think that they were, like, if this was 4 years ago, I think they were going to give like someone like Bryce Young, or, I mean, I shouldn't say McCarthy because I don't know. Haven't seen enough. Like someone like that. Like, those are the type of guys that were going to get these deals. It's like, what you do, you pay your quarterback. Bryce Young, it's the situation's fault. It's not Bryce Young.
You don't always pay your quarterback. Lots of people moved on from their quarterbacks who were failed. You pay quarterbacks that have had.
If they show you just a little bit.
I guess you're thinking like, I don't know, it was like Justin Fields or
Justin Fields, he didn't get paid.
I know he didn't get paid, but I'm saying like that level of quarterback is what you're thinking of.
Yeah.
I'm trying to, or I guess Danny Dimes.
Yeah.
It's like they made the playoffs and he won a playoff game. And they had a good season, and also everything around him was like he didn't have the O-line or the weapons. It just felt like we want to see this in a fair chance. Like that's why I think I understand what you're saying, and it's something that I think you've wanted for a long time, and people like you have wanted for a long time, but I don't think it'll change.
People like you.
Yeah, like the stat guys who think that they know better than all the GMs. That's your gang.
No, I just don't have to. My job is not on the line.
Yeah,
for the
that's not a fair characterization. Yeah. That's the people who believe that it's easier to find quarterbacks.
No, yeah, I don't think. I think it's equally punitive to pay the wrong quarterback. Is my view of it, which is like, I know that's different, but like,
no, I get it. I understand what you're saying, but I guess it's from, do we have a chance or do we not have a chance?
Right.
And like, if you have a quarterback that you think gives you a chance.
Yeah, and the Eagles won the Super Bowl last year with the guy who we didn't think was a top of the league guy.
Right. And so it's like, do we want to keep a guy that gives us a chance? Or do we want to go out there in hopes that we can find another guy that is better than that? Like that's the leverage I'm talking about. Like, just because it hasn't worked out in every case, and I'm sure there are cases where it has worked out, you got a devilish smirk on you.
I mean, like they obviously, like, if they went back, they wouldn't have given Tua this contract.
Yeah, of course not.
Yeah.
But if we are back in that situation, they're still giving Tua the contract. Like, he put up big numbers, and they felt like they had a chance.
Yeah, I mean, they were revolutionizing offense for a minute, and we were like,
you're not going to pay that guy?
Tua, Tyreek, Waddle.
Right. It just feels like hindsight right now to me.
It is.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's not true. We had concerns at the time.
I know.
There were a lot of people that were looking up being like, this seems fake. Like, This is like, he doesn't have the arm strength. He's really not durable. This doesn't seem right. It's like, it's not total hindsight on this.
And I guess if there's another situation that's exactly like Tua's, maybe it changes.
But it obviously wasn't total hindsight with someone like Kyler Murray either. They put a clause in his contract about watching film, and there was a ton of.
But you know what? They gave him the contract.
Yeah. No, and that's what I mean. Like, I'm just wondering what the inflection point is for it.
I don't think there is one. I think because quarterbacks are so rare and like serviceable starting quarterback play, he gives us a chance. It's so hard to come by. I think
that someone will always pay them. So that's what the market.
Yeah, and it's like they have the leverage. Like, I mean, I guess they could start franchise tagging them, which then makes it harder to build a roster because you have so much money tied up. Because the franchise tag you can't amortize over any time period. Like, or you're gonna cut them. Somebody will pay them. And maybe that'll be what'll happen. They'll cut him and they'll go get the money elsewhere for a team that's ready made. Maybe that's the future. But I just don't see it happening.
If they cut Tua, would anyone sign him?
Yeah, somebody's going to sign him. I mean,
if they cut him, they could sign. You get the $100 million he's or however much he's owed, and they could sign him for cheaper.
Yeah, I think if he gets cut, somebody will sign him. But I mean, I made this point earlier. It's like I don't.
That's stupid. Hand up. Someone would sign him at that point.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's completely stupid because I don't get the argument for bringing Tua in. Right? It's like it's a high risk situation for a guy who, like, we get nervous every time anyone gets close to his head, who is not producing in the way that you want. So yeah, I don't know. I wish him the best. Glad he got paid. But yeah, I think it's done. Obviously, it's done for him down in Miami. I don't know what they do with him, but I don't think he's a starter next year. And he's not. He's the emergency quarterback this week, right?
Yeah.
He's not even the backup.
Yeah, it's just interesting. Like, he's had this entire situation catered to him, and it just hasn't worked. Yeah. All right, so for our picks for the weekend, we'll do this before. After this, you'll hear Domonique and Joel and us talk about the college football playoff. But Mina's picked the Bengals over the Dolphins.
Okay.
We are tied at this point in the season.
Bengals over the Dolphins. Okay.
So she picked.
Who do we like?
You throw a team out. I'll let you know if we've picked them.
Texans over the Raiders.
We have not picked the Texans.
All right, give us the Texans over the Raiders.
Great.
Layup. Easy. All right, me, you, and Joel talk about college football playoffs and other college football news. All right, I'm so happy to have this suave, debonair man back. The gray hair makes me jealous every time I see it. Joel Anderson. I know it's a weird thing. I'm the only person in the world who wants gray hair, but I see the salt and pepper. Yes. I think it looks cool. I like a little salt and pepper, and I would like it. It's coming eventually. I got it in the beard. It's whacking the beard. I need it up top. It's a race. Can I get some salt and pepper before the hairline completely quits?
No, man. You don't want this. Bruh, what are you talking about?
I like it. I think it looks good.
What does Ashley think about it?
She don't care.
She don't. See, my wife doesn't like this. She thinks I look very vagrant there. When my hair grows out and in a beard, you know, and I don't like I dress nice no more.
I would say professorial. Like, it's like the beard. I get where she's coming from with the beard.
Studious.
But yeah.
Okay.
Where do you want to start with the college stuff? We got coach changes. We got Sharon Moore saga. We got college football playoffs, which some people might say is too many teams in it. But anyway, we still got some good games coming up.
That's me. Really? You believe? Yeah. So what is the right number?
4. I say this as a Vandy fan. It's not because we got left out. Like, I looked up and I was like, yeah, I would have liked to be in the college football playoff. As a Vandy alum, this might never happen again. Yeah. But then I realized I was like, oh, you wanted to get on a plane, fly to Eugene, and get the dog beat out of you?
Man, you got that little faith in your squad, for real?
Yeah.
Trust me, I grew up as a Washington Commanders fan, then went to Vanderbilt. Yeah. Yes, I have that little faith in my squad.
Fair enough.
Also a Wizards fan.
Yeah, oh yeah. Man. Yo, Wizards and Commanders, same amount of wins. Each got 4.
Oh man, I was so sad when Cam Whitmore left. I was like, man, I still kind of like Cam, man. I kind of wouldn't mind having him. And then I just check in because I can't watch the NBA during the season. I was like, oh, they don't like him already.
Oh yeah, he's riding pine. Man. Just hilarious.
That's pathetic. But no, I think I agree that if you're in the ideal world, if this is simply about finding the best team and you don't want any distractions, you don't want any pageantry around it, 4 teams seems about right. But it just at that point it cuts off so many other people who might have some interest in the game, man. I just think it's kind of cool that Alabama and Oklahoma are going to play an opening round game. I mean, it is a rematch. Both those teams have terrible offenses, but the idea that they're going to have a playoff game in Norman, Oklahoma, and that's going to kick it off, that's kind of cool, man. Or like Ole Miss, they're going to break out the red and white, they're going to bring out the stars and bars, and they're going to welcome Tulane down there, man. Tulane. Tulane. I'm a boy been getting on me about that. Tulane.
That is not Tulane, but I'm with you. The thing is, I tell this to people sometimes. Is one of my teammates was from Florida, and he had a thick accent, and he would get mad at us because we laugh at him, and he was like, "If you can correct me, then you know what I'm saying." And he had a good point. Like, bro, if you correct me, then you know what I'm saying. There's no, you just try to make yourself feel good,
dog.
Like, you know what I mean.
Dog, Dominique, let me say so. Yeah, so I'm talking for people. I'm talking about my co-host Van Lathan on Ringer Tailgate, and I've been
Tate was getting his jucks into.
Yeah, bro, I've been saying Tulane my entire life, since I've heard of that school.
You've been wrong your entire life, but it's okay.
But nobody, that's true. But nobody ever thought to be like, you know what? It's Tulane, right? I'm like, what are you doing? Like, why would you correct me on that? You know what school I'm talking about. But anyway, it's just. He didn't even go there. But anyway, it's just
the Ole Miss situation. Like, it's funny because like Ole Miss has become a bit of a sympathetic figure with how Lane Kiffin has gone away. But it's hard. It's real hard when you look into the stands and see what they be repping. To be like, come on, Mississippi.
No, I was like, have you ever? And I mean, we kind of far afield here. Have you ever known a black person that was an Ole Miss fan?
I was shocked. So like when I met Michael Orr, I knew he went to Ole Miss, and it was confusing to me how Ole Miss, like they were like, for those people who don't know, like they're the rebels and they were Confederate. They wore gray and they waved Confederate flags because like their mascot was a soldier for the Southern Army, and it was like very weird. Because like when you go on a college visit, they like show you all the cool stuff. They want you to see how exciting the tailgates are, the games, the parties, and all that stuff. And I just always imagined that it would be so ridiculously uncomfortable to be there. And they say, we want you to come play here. But then I kind of remembered that like there was a time like when I feel like rappers also like embrace the Confederate flag in a weird way where like there was a couple albums that I remember had like Confederate flags on it. So I think that maybe they just didn't recognize. I don't know. I knew that was not for me, but I grew up in Maryland where we're in a place where it's very clear in like a liberal part of Maryland where you're like close enough to the line that you know that we really want to delineate ourselves from them.
Yeah, that's
like,
not
no,
us.
we're not Confederate type of people. It was down there putting it on. Was it who was it? I forgot who it was. Might have been like Ludacris or somebody. It was like
man, I feel like Andre
Pastor
3000
Troy
had one maybe one time.
Not
and of
Andre.
course, Kanye. Kanye, of course, did the Confederate thing for a minute too.
Yeah.
Maybe Field Mob too. I don't know. But I was just like, I don't want. That's not something I'm reclaiming. I'm sorry. Like I don't have anything to do with that. You know, some things I'm willing to reclaim. I think we know we're talking about my brother. You know what I'm saying? But the Confederate flag is something that is a little too far afield, and that's kind of the thing. Like when you're talking about Ole Miss, is that people want to pretend like they don't know what we're talking about, right? And that while Lane Kiffin might look across the state line and be like, I know LSU is in Louisiana. I know it's got its own history that people struggle with, but it's a little easier to convince people to go to Baton Rouge than it is to go to Oxford. Like that has just always been the way of things. And so, I mean, it's just, Ole Miss is great. Like this is the best they've ever been. But there's a reason that that all these other schools around them have won. You know, Alabama, Auburn, Georgia, Florida, LSU, Texas. All these other schools have won around them. Tennessee, and not them. And it's because of their fealty to that particular tradition and that culture, man. People don't want to do that. Tommy Tuberville in the 90s was like, could y'all please stop flying that flag? Could y'all please, y'all making it hard for us to recruit. Tommy Tuberville, okay?
Him too.
Yeah. So that's...
Can I ask you a question about roasting your Ringer Tailgate castmates of what would be the funniest thing to happen?
Go please.
So let's say, because I'm just going into fan fiction.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go. Kalen DeBoer leaves Alabama.
Yeah.
And Lane Kiffin then leaves LSU.
Oh, man.
Is that for Van?
Oh, yeah.
Higher to you for entertainment value than Bill Belichick handing over the coaching reins at North Carolina to Jordan Hudson? Like what's for Tate between the two of them? If you have a Carolina and LSU thing, what would lead to more torturous stuff? and have Billy Gill leaning into like,
no.
How do you really feel right now? Can you tell me about it?
So Tate is not loyal. I'll give him that, right? Like Tate,
he's a hoe, certified.
I'm not. I don't think he's acting in the behavior of the manner of a hoe. I won't say that.
He's exhibiting the behavior.
He was of a hoe, but he, he's wishy-washy, and he knows where the bread is buttered. I mean, Van Lathan is the star of the podcast. That's the most famous dude there. Rihanna be in his comments, okay? So, but I don't have beef with Tate. Van comes on here and he's just so disrespectful and talking about the SEC and how great they are, and we've had arguments about the ways in which they support each other in that conference, which I find to be offensive and undignified. So yeah, I would love to see LSU fail. I mean, I didn't like LSU before I met Van, right? Mm-hmm. But knowing him has only made me dislike them more. I don't want anything good to happen to them. It's funny to me. I wanted them to lose to Western Kentucky when they were fighting it out with Western Kentucky in the last month of the season. I was like, oh, it would be great if they lost this game.
That's one thing about the SEC. They hate each other. The rivalry's in there. They hate each other, but like they still consider themselves or each other family. Yeah. In a way where the Big Ten is like, no, like I really hate you. I will tank your whole and take mine down with it in order to make sure that people know, because like I don't believe that nobody in the SEC wasn't paying before it was okay to pay, but I'd be damned if anybody the SEC ever told. Nobody was out there getting the death penalty in the SEC. They was like, all right, I hate you, I want you to lose, I'll poison your tree. Right. But I ain't about to mess up these players.
There's like, hey man, we all on the same, it's the same, den of thieves, like we all on the same page here, right? Yeah, I can't understand supporting each other like that. And meanwhile, in the Big Ten, and this isn't funny, but it's just how it is. I feel like the best reporting on Twitter of the Sharon Moore stuff, if you ever look at the accounts, is usually connected to Ohio State and Michigan State people. Like they are like reveling in this. That's man's failure. Point. It's like, they just keep throwing it out there.
The SEC is like a bunch of drug dealers. It's like we will solve this in the streets. Right. I'm not gonna call the cops. Right. The Big Ten is like, oh, guess what? They house is over there. Like you don't got a house too.
Right. Yeah. They just like the police drive through the neighborhood. Man, you might want to go check it out the block, man. I done seen people going in that house in and out all night long. Yeah.
Like you go back to Michigan basketball getting in trouble. Like it's like they all telling on each other, and I don't get it.
Yeah, it is. I mean, they be snitching, but I mean, I guess the thing is that I don't ride for. I enjoy seeing my friends' teams lose. I enjoy rooting against people. Like that is me. Like if your team lose, and I've known you for a long time, I'm gonna send you a text. I'll be like, bro, I was busy today, man. What happened? What happened to you boys?
It's all I live for.
Yeah, right.
It's the best sporting moments of my life are the pain that my friends have endured.
Yeah, God, I think it's funny. I mean, 'cause look, man, when TCU was in the national championship game against Georgia, it took really, about the end of the second 12 seconds. It was like in the second quarter that I'm starting. I was like, oh. I was just like, hey man, I done turned the game off, bro. I'm sorry. I'm not,
Did you convince yourself that you had a chance in that game?
Oh yeah, I did.
Of course.
Oh.
Well, what happened is that I convinced myself that we had a chance until there was two things that happened. Ohio State almost beat Georgia in the semifinal. And I was like, man, they're not going to get caught slipping again. And then again, I've said this before a couple times. They interviewed Kirby Smart on the sideline before the game. Okay. And it's just like, just right minutes before kickoff. And they said, well, Kirby, Coach Smart, what do you think is going to be the key for tonight's game? And he said, aggression. And I was like, oh, we in trouble. I was like, we in trouble, man. We in trouble. And, it's just funny because that would have been maybe the best, most exhilarating season in TCU history, if not for that. But I don't even like thinking about that season no more. I was like, I don't want to, it's better not even be thought about.
That one was crazy too, because it was like TCU got that big lead against Michigan and was holding on for dear life. God. And it was like, that was, honestly, we've talked about a little bit on this show, but do you feel like Jim Harbaugh deserves more credit for his national championship because he won it with both Sharon Moore and JJ McCarthy?
I tried to tell people that JJ McCarthy wasn't good in college. I was like, what are y'all seeing here? Like, what am I missing? Like,
This ain't the week though. This ain't the week to talk about
Primetime
JJ.
9?
Okay.
Nine was gritty and into the end zone last week.
That's right. That's right. He did gritty, huh?
JJ balling right now. He on top of the world. He gave the Cowboys that work.
Oh man.
I really think it should
Cowboys.
strengthen Harbaugh's NFL Coach of the Year and NFL Coach of the Year case. I really do.
Yeah.
Lifetime Achievement Award for everything.
I mean, you talk about a den of thieves or like drug dealers. I mean, the staff that Harbaugh had up there in Michigan, man, it is like, I mean, if you go through like what has happened to people there, Weiss and other people, man, like it was a Matt Weiss, and then they, Jesse Minter has got a show cause. It's not related to anything, but it's just they just have got a bunch of stuff. They had a bunch of stuff going on there that is not in line with what Michigan thinks of itself.
What of the college football playoff games should we be most excited about?
Oh man, Miami versus Texas A&M. I mean, first of all, them weirdos at A&M, man. That Kyle Fields situation gonna be lit. I mean, I got love for him. I got friends who went to A&M. My uncle went there, but that's a weird situation, down there, bro. They got a fake army. And, but the pageantry around the game, like, I mean, it is legit is amazing. Like, it's really beautiful to go watch a game at Kyle Field. They're going to be lit in Miami, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody wants the U to be back. I don't think the U is back. I think Miami is just good this year. Like, this is not the U, but they're Miami and they're good. And I think Miami is like one of those teams that has a chance to win a national championship. And so, like, watching them play, have to go on the road at A&M, that season on the line, like Mario Cristobal, like having to figure out, in-game adjustments against a team with equal talent is going to be entertaining. So that's probably the game I'm looking most forward to, I think.
As a weird question off of that, the Cristobal thing is like, has the value in the college coach changed at all? Because I feel like I always kind of thought the most important thing for a college team was its ability to recruit. Have we seen a shift with the way that is now like more of a contract negotiation? Is recruiting a little more straightforward and less about like who's got the ability to talk a guy into coming there and just like who's got the money?
Yeah, I think it is. Like, I mean, I'm not going to say it's totally a CEO model now, right? Mm-hmm. But you don't necessarily need the guy that is the offensive genius or the defensive wizard, right? You want a guy that can run an organization, who's good at delegating. You need to have a good staff, people that can recruit, but also you need to be somebody that can inspire your boosters to give money, man, and to fund your NIL. Because the example of this is Texas Tech, right? Yeah. Texas Tech has never been this good in my life. This is the best Texas Tech has ever been, even when they had Mike Leach and Graham Harrell and Michael Crabtree. This is the best team they've ever had. Their head coach is a dude who was never a coordinator in college. Like, he was a position coach, but he was really most known for being a winning Texas high school coach. And he wasn't like a winning Texas high school coach in the manner of like, somebody you see on Friday Night Lights. Like, he was a dude that coached at one of them schools like Duncanville. I don't know if people know Duncanville or DeSoto. Like, Von Miller went to DeSoto, for instance, right? Colin Simmons, the defensive end of Texas, he went to Duncanville. Like,
I know DeSoto is like a powerhouse, right?
It's a powerhouse, and they're playing for the 6A title this week. That's right. And so your Joey McGuire came up in that morass and built the power. And so, like, he's a guy that, like, clearly can draw people to him. His appeal crosses racial and cultural lines. And again, he's somebody that people around Texas like, and they've installed him, and they've got a good system there. So yeah, like it doesn't. You don't have to have Lane Kiffin, right? You don't have to have the guy that is going to be calling his own plays like Billy Napier or whatever like that. But it probably wouldn't hurt. But I think the big thing is that you need somebody that can get everybody in alignment and convince them to come to your place.
Man, I can't get over some of the social media leaks we had about after Lane Kiffin leaving, like the hot yoga stuff, him just farting in the back of the hot yoga room is the funniest thing in the world.
Man, let's talk. I mean, look, man. I mean, we grown ups here, man. We know. I mean, coaches be getting down in them college towns, man.
Joey Freshwater,
man, they be getting down in them college towns, man. It's the story's oldest time. Yeah. See?
That was your
We were
your
talking
reaction.
about that.
What was your first reaction to the Sharon Moore news before we knew the dark side of it?
Yeah, it was 35% of coaches in college football right now are erasing their text history.
Oh yeah, bro. I mean, Hugh Freeze, man. I mean, what he was getting into, bro. But yeah, I mean, what was my first reaction? Well, we had to react live on Tailgate, and so we didn't have all the facts. All we knew at the time was that Sharon Moore had gotten fired, and I'd always thought Michigan didn't like him. Like he was a bridge coach, right? Like
I felt that way too.
Right. They were like,
yeah,
Harbaugh wanted him, cool, whatever. But after this little run, or after, if Bryce Underwood says it's him or me, then we'll have to move on from him. Okay. So he got fired and they said inappropriate relationship with a staffer. I mean, if you cover college football and you've been following all this stuff, like there were rumors about that. You never know how real it is. But it was like, oh, okay, that's crazy, kind of funny. And then like something unprecedented happened, which is he got arrested, and he had to go to an arraignment the next day in a jail jumpsuit. I've never seen no like that before. And so
crazy.
people were talking about us in our comments on Tailgate, like, well, man, how could you guys talk about this? And like, well, those were the facts that were known at the time, bro. We didn't, I mean, it's still kind of funny to me, you know what I'm saying? Like some details of it, but no, not, I mean, obviously like now that there's the allegations of domestic violence or whatever, but the way in which he imploded his life and his career, it was sad, but also kind of ridiculous,
Absolutely.
And so, yeah, man. So that's kind of how we handled it. But, I mean, it seems like this story is still evolving. And the one thing I would tell y'all, man, to be careful of on Twitter, bro, they got me. Did y'all see the fake video of him allegedly with his wife pushing a stroller?
Oh, that was fake? I saw
that. That was fake. That was AI, man. That was AI. And so it's just...
You gotta be like me and Domonique. Just delete Twitter from your phone and miss all of it.
Yeah, man. I mean, the thing, I don't want to spend the rest of my life having to figure that out. Like if it's AI or not, like I don't want that.
Yeah, you just assume it is.
Yeah, right. Yes,
fake. So I got a couple playoff questions. So like Domonique and I, we're casuals. We like college football. Cool. We like to dive bomb in for the big games. Yeah. We treat it like throughout the regular season. We treat it like prize fighting in certain things. You see, like the Oklahoma-Alabama game that came earlier in the season. Love that game.
Yeah, great.
Et cetera, et cetera. Like
Miami, Notre Dame, kicked that thing off. I was all in for that one.
No.
Exactly. But so coming into the playoff last year, we took about 4 seconds. We're watching Penn State play, and I was like, the tight end and the edge rusher. Those are my guys. I don't need to see another second. I know what they are. Yeah. Obviously that was Abdul Carter and Tyler Warren. But this year, are there a couple guys that we're going to see beyond Jeremiah Smith, who everyone knows?
Yeah.
Who we're going to be like, okay, that like no doubt. I know what he is. He's going to translate to the NFL. I can't believe I haven't been watching this freak show all year type guys.
Man. Okay. Dave Bailey, defensive end for Texas Tech. Possibly. I mean, so Texas Tech statistically probably had the best defense in the country, like by pretty much every metric that PFF uses. Like Texas Tech was at the top or near the top of it, right? And Dave Bailey is that guy. Like he's the guy that was the center, that is the edge rusher. And he'll probably be a first-round draft pick. He was at Stanford last year, and Tech used some of that oil money to get him down there. So like that's when you see Dave Bailey go up against, I think it'll either be like Oregon. It'll be Oregon. It won't. No disrespect, James Madison, but it'll be Oregon. You'll see him against Oregon.
I think that's fair.
And that'll be a great matchup against that offensive line. So Dave Bailey, I would say. And I mean, for people that it's interesting because there's so much. I love this dude, Tarian York, man. There's a linebacker for Texas A&M, bro. He's like 5'11", 225, 230. But that's
the thing now, though.
Yo, bro, he is just a live wire, man. That dude is everywhere, all over the field. He's amazing. I picked Miami to beat A&M, but he is like one of my favorite players. Like if you just watch some cut-ups of him diagnosing plays and the way he finishes tackles and stuff like that, like he's amazing. I love Torian York. So those are probably a couple of guys. And of course, Malachi Tony, man, they call him Baby Jesus.
Oh yeah,
you know,
he got
Baby
some
Jesus
time
for Miami.
He's a freshman, right?
Yeah, he a freshman,
he
man.
got
He's
some
a
time
freshman.
stepping in, but yeah, no, he jumped off the screen as soon as anytime you turn on a Miami game, he stands out.
He is that dude. Yeah, man. He's in line with what you think of when you used to think of Miami.
Yeah,
you know, like he's like, okay, he would have probably played with Santana Moss or Reese Moss, any of them cats. So yeah, those are probably the guys I'm gonna be looking at least this weekend. David Bailey next week, but yeah,
Arvell Reese next week too. That's another one I stumbled across.
Oh man,
I love him.
This man
Downs too.
Yeah, I guess I didn't stumble across it. Charlie said, "Watch this guy," and then I fell in love.
Dominique, tell me what you think, Caleb Downs, man.
Oh, I think so. The Caleb Downs thing for me, and I don't want to give a full assessment. I haven't watched that much Caleb Downs, but it feels like he's a player that needs the right coach because of all the things that he can do. Like in the NFL, we've gone in this direction where these super versatile guys are incredibly valuable. I don't know how good he is at everything. I'll jump into all that after the NFL is over and start to evaluate these guys, but he seems to be able to do, or at least when people talk about him, he's able to do a bunch of different things. So safeties are not that valued, but in the right system, you can see how valuable a versatile safety is. It'll really make your defense. He's no Kyle Hamilton. He's not that big, but that's the type of guy where it's you can put him anywhere, and that takes away the ability for the opponent to mismatch you out of personnel groups and take advantage. So it's a player that's that could be super valuable in the right spot.
Okay. And I want to ask you about Jeremiah Smith.
Sounds like you don't like him. Sound like you don't like him.
No. I love Caleb. Look, man, so nobody's going to remember this because it didn't matter at the time, but this is when he played at Alabama and they were playing against Michigan.
I first noticed him.
They played against Michigan in the semifinal. This interception did not count. It was like an interception on the first or second play of the game off J.J. McCarthy. First round draft pick J.J. McCarthy. And he played, I'll never forget the first time I saw Sean Taylor and he played against Louisiana Tech and he went all the way across the field to intercept the ball. It was just his speed and diagnosis of the play was just unreal. And that's what I thought about Caleb Downs. I was like, damn, man, how did he get there and get the interception? It just didn't count because of some sort of penalty or whatever. But I love Caleb Downs.
As a freshman, he reminded me because he played further back as a freshman, less of a box safety. He was on Alabama compared to Ohio State. At that point, he reminded me of Eric Berry. As a freshman who was ready to play with the speed. Yep. I mean, I know he's had a very different college career since he's at Ohio State, but at his freshman year, I was like, this feels like he's diagnosing stuff so fast. And he looks like a real high 4.3s, low 4.4s guy. Yeah. I don't know if he'll actually run at, but that's what jumped out.
Imagine being so good that you just step on to Alabama, man, semifinal, and you're one of the best defenders. You go to Ohio State. Oh, I'm probably, you get behind me. I'll carry y'all. You know what I mean? That dude is real to me. So yeah. I got to ask y'all this because I saw people, shout out George Foster, man, Big Fost, who be on Twitter, man. And he said that when people compare Jeremiah Smith to Julio Jones is wrong because he said Julio moved like a small man. Jeremiah Smith moved like a big man. What do y'all think about that? Because I don't, the intricacies of that I'm not so familiar with. But what did y'all think of that?
I have a Jeremiah Smith theory.
Oh, okay, say it.
My theory on him, and this could be like George with the big guy, small guy thing. And I don't know how exactly tall he is. I know he's been listed anywhere from 6'2.5" to 6'4", somewhere in that range. Yeah. But he showed up on campus, 223, 225 type guy. Yeah. I think that he was one of the type of athletes that 20 years ago would have been, or I should say 40 years ago, because we're old now, but he would have been Eric Dickerson, Bo Jackson, Herschel Walker as a running back. And he was in that Adrian Peterson style of athlete, but in the modern game with 7-on-7, he became a receiver. Because you don't see 17-year-old kids playing receiver at 6'2.5", 225 with that type of functional power. And I think he's that's why I think he's different than Julio. I think he's a really uniquely powerful young football player with the ball. Can you imagine him in an NFL scheme where he becomes a rack guy? He's gonna be unbeliable at that.
Joe, I feel like I've been holding Charlie back, man. I make him talk about the NFL. Yeah, I ain't seen Charlie this excited in weeks.
I told you that Jeremiah Smith theory.
But you got all lubed up and you all excited, you rocking back and forth. I didn't know you love college like this. We can cut
out the players more than the teams. That's the thing about it.
We can cut out a little space in a show to do a Charlie College corner, man.
Yeah, man. I mean, look, man, college is fun, dog. And I mean, look, it's just when you're a real sicko, you like me, man. I follow high school football too. I'm one of them cats. Like I remember my dad would take me to games, high school games as a kid, and there'd be another brother there just reading the paper and stands. We'd be like, "Oh, okay, you root for Willow Ridge, whatever." He's like, "No, just want to come see a good game, man." That's me. That's me today.
So is there? Oh, so now you just going to games, but you in my neck of the woods now. It's not the same as. Well, I guess you were in LA before. It's not the same as when you was in Houston.
Oh yeah, no, I haven't, and I actually haven't had time to do it this year because now I got 2 kids and I'm not allowed to leave the house because I work on Saturday. But when I lived in the Bay, and when I was in the Bay, this is the dude. I did this. I did it a couple times. One, they had Concord de La Salle, if you remember Concord de La Salle. So I wanted to just go see what they were all about, And I took my dad to the stadium there, and he was like, "This is pitiful." I was like, "Man, people don't care down here up here like they do in Texas. It's not the same thing, Dad." But the other guy I went to go see, and it was funny because Jim Harbaugh was at the game. I went to go see Najee Harris play 5 times in high school. Okay, because I heard about him. I was like, "Oh, I got to go see this kid." And it was just like, yeah, I mean, he was everything they said he was. He was everything they said he was.
It's like I get a lot of, because I'm from Baltimore, people tell me about the St. Francis team in Baltimore that's supposed to be ridiculously good, and they won. The funny thing is, most of the time, I just get people hating on them, saying that how they win a national championship and they ain't beat. They didn't play a team from Georgia or something like that, so they dominated people. But like that team is supposedly pretty low. That's not far from you. You can make it down to Baltimore.
I want to go do it, man. But bro, look, Dominique.
I'm sorry.
Let's maybe if I can make a plan, we could talk about it on Saturday when I'm at your house.
I can't wait.
There's a kid named Baba Olatunji or something like that. He is one of the top basketball prospects in the country. Okay, he's going to Maryland. He reclassed and he's going to Maryland now. He went to DeMatha, but now he goes to the local high school up here, Blake. I got to see him, man. I mean, you only get something. They call him Baby KD, and that's the kind of I like to do. So maybe we should all just get together.
Let's do it.
Let's go in the spring. February for a playoff game or something like that. Let's go check out Baba, man.
Guaranteed. We got a date.
All right.
I love that. Last one. I got one last question for you on the playoff.
I hate how happy Charlie is.
How do you feel about
I'm a little jealous, Joe. You may not get invited back.
Oh man,
how do you feel about the four QBs that have been talked about a lot? Ty Simpson, Mendoza, Sayin, and Ty Simpson, Mendoza, Dante Moore, and Sayin.
I'm not gonna get invited back, dog.
You're welcome, man.
So I think they all have their differing strengths. I feel like I just need to see more of all of them. So we did this thing, we've got Billy Gill on our podcast now, and he did this thing where we were like, so if Phillip Rivers if you could pick Phillip Rivers over any of the quarterbacks in college, would you do it? And I was like, yeah, man, I probably would take Phillip Rivers over Fernando Mendoza, man. I probably would if I had to win a game tomorrow. And I was like, I don't know what I didn't get a chance to watch Phillip Rivers, but I heard he was passable. That's maybe the best thing that can be said about him, right? I don't love these quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna come on your show and make your take giggle. See how you like it. All right, Joe. I appreciate you, man. Thanks so much. I see you this weekend. Me, you, Santa, and the kids.
I can't wait, bro.
Buddy.
We're gonna be down there, man. All right. It was a lot of fun, y'all.
Thank you, man. All right, Domonique Foxworth Show. Thanks to all the great producers. We out.
This is the Domonique Foxworth Show.